Hi, it's Wave, and this is the Nightmare Before Christmas project pan update for March. So let's get right to it. Starting off with shock, I used this limited edition master kit thing I got for my birthday years ago. It's from a Sephora collection, and it's this purple plum that I picked out of the 72 eyeshadows it came with, I think. I've hit it for 9 times, and it's like halfway through the panning, which I'm so excited about because it does give kit packed, like I said in the past, but also because it's so small, I knew it was going to go out faster. I just didn't know it was going to go this fast because this is the 3rd month of using it. And compared to that, I don't use it that often compared to my other project pan where I have a palette that I currently use, the Tarte one. So if you haven't seen the video, watch that one. But in the middle, it's starting to dip like almost like a descend sinkhole, if you think of it that way. The panning on the edges has gone down more, but not by much, but it's mainly the middle is the main focus. It makes more sense that it is more the middle that's showing because the brush that I use is a Wayne Goss brush. They look like a paintbrush, and because of the tip is more narrowed, that's where most of the product goes to. Whereas standard fluffy brush that's very big, it will get the whole entire thing. So I'm really happy about that. I think last month I didn't do that well, but I tend to use it more because if I see it out on my bookshelf, I will use it, versus things that are close up, I actually forget where I put it at. So things that are just like right there in my face or in a clear container, then I'll tend to use it more. I can't remember if I mentioned this, but Shock is a character from Night Before Christmas. She's one of the terrible 3 that I call constantly. The leader of the group, but also her outfit is the generic purple scheme. So I went for the purple plummy shade in my collection since it closely resembles her. But also it's kind of hard in the movie because the lighting's dark and all that I'm not sure if it's like a true plummy or is it like a dark purple. Pinterest, everyone has like different color brightness to it, so I just went with what I had at the moment. So yeah, I think this is gonna be done faster than I anticipate, but that's good. That would be like a first win out of this project pan. My second character is Locke. I consider like the second oldest because of how the Terror 3 height is different, but also he's very rambunctious and outgoing, but also the most daring one, but at the same time not sensible as Shock. So in my Sephora mini Blue Edition palette, I use the Miss Minnie right here, and I'm starting to get a bit of a dip, which I'm actually surprised because I have been using this shadow the least out of all the shadows in this project pan. Now thinking about it, I do have to not dig, but just shimmy the brushes, especially the new one I got, and that's the e.l.f. shader one. Since it's synthetic, it actually holds the product more. And also I'll be using it because it puts the product on my eyes much better than my other one, which is the Urban Decay Electric dual and brush. So I'm kind of surprised that it's starting to dip over here. Still gonna take me the longest because I just haven't been gravitating towards it, which I'm actually kind of shocked that I've been doing that. And when I think about it, I've been using red so much the past 2 years that I probably have been burnt out using it, which is kind of strange because I do like using red. But this year I've just been into the neutrals. I don't know, there's something about that. Actually, I'm wearing the neutrals today on my eyes from my Tarte palette, and I don't know, it just gives me this doughy, fresh look that I've been enjoying lately. I have been experimenting with the red shadow though, so I think I made like a vampy look, but it was just terrible because I tried that at the end of the day where all my makeup was falling down, and so I just like wanted to get use out of it. but at the same time don't want to go outside wearing it in case it went bad, which like it did. But I'm glad that I at least been venturing slowly. My third character is Beryl from The Night Before Christmas, and he's the youngest out of the terrible three, but also not the brightest either. But at the same time, he's a bit sensible like Shock, so he's like the mixture of Shock and Locke. And I use the ColourPop Jelly Mush in, of course, Beryl, but also since he's on it, I decided to use it. I've used him 4 times, and I would have been using more of it if I would have revived it sooner, because it dried out because I forgot to put on the sealer to protect it so it doesn't dry out faster, which I don't know how exactly that works, considering that when you close it, it's supposed to be seal tight to begin with. I'm not sure what the mechanic or chemical reaction does that you need extra sealer compression, but it just is. So keep that in mind and actually make sure you have that, because if you lose it, you're constantly have to revise it. Because I've done this the second time, so the pan that I had previously has went down as I suspected it would, but the product itself has been doing fine. I've been using the new brush that I've got. I mentioned it either previously or maybe in my other project pan. It's synthetic, and I've heard that synthetic does better than natural hairs because it doesn't absorb the product like a natural hairbrush would. But it's kind of finicky. That's the thing I've noticed. Just apply it on a brush in particular. I don't use the hands because I don't like my hands touching my eyes, unless it's just like rubbing it or just gets drowsy. I do like the color and all that, but I just haven't been using it because of that reason. My second character is Santa Claus. He's a jolly old fan of Santa Claus that gets basically Christmas taken over by Jack. But I picked the Daisy's My BFF right here, which is this white color shade. I've been experimenting a lot with that color with the other character Frankenstein, which I'll mention towards the end. I wanted to test out to see if it will actually change any colors while I do bold color looks, because I know for the black shade it turns gray every time, so it had me curious. Also, because my other project pan with the Tarte, the boneless color that I use is halfway gone, so I've been interested in using more of it. So I'm almost getting a dip, but it's not quite yet. It does do kickback, but it's nothing crazy. It's just a powdery formula, and while it doesn't do pack a punch or anything, it's just, I can't remember if it leaves like a shade of whiteness to the eye primer or if it just disappears, but it's just a boneless shade color, well, somewhat. But I think I've tried it with the Jordana pencil, top it over to see if it gives me a bold color or nothing. I think it just basically came like a blended sort that was basically nothing, but also it was like a murky black at that point. So yeah, like I said, I used it 9 times if I haven't mentioned already, and been better than last month. My last character is Frankenstein. I used him 10 times. I used the I'm All Years black, and I've mentioned that I've been experimenting with the white one quite often, but also I've been taking into account to using it as a, not a tight liner, but as like a close to the lash line to give me a more fuller look without making my eyes become more hooded, because since I have hooded eyes, if you use darker color, especially a black color, it just closes the eyes and opening it. So I've been bringing it to the top of the lash and then just like smudging it out a little bit, and Since it's so pigmented, I only use that much, so it kind of sucks, but I'm getting better at black shadow, but nowhere near where I want to be. But also I feel like that with a black shadow, it's not very forgiving. The moment you mess up and that you're trying to fix it, it just turns not ashy but not patchy either. It just doesn't blend well. I do get some, not kickback, but because I use my Urban Decay dual end brush, the smaller side for packing, I just do like a little shimmy and then it starts to break up a little bit. But other than that, that's basically how I've been using it. That concludes this month's update for March. I'm very surprised of how much I actually use the shadows this month. I'm quite happy with that, even though I haven't been in the mood to do makeup. I've been trying to, at least, because I've just been out of sorts is what I want to say. So I'm really pleased that I actually improved. In the meantime, take care of yourselves and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!